Hey metalheads, you're watching Bloodstock TV. I'm Scott Travis.
Richie Faulkner from Judas Priest. Keep the faith.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock TV, we're talking to Stan and Jay from Xentrix. How you doing, guys?
Very good.
Cool. So, you guys have just played on the main stage at Bloodstock. So, how did it go?
Playing the main stage at Bloodstock for us is it's just a natural progression. We've gone from, I played the New Blood with Hellfire, I went through to the Sophie with the first reunion, then on to with Jay, and to get on that main stage was amazing. It's such a different feeling to play to the big full crowd rather than playing in the tent. You really get a sense of you're playing to the festival, which is brilliant.
Isn't it? It's a different.
It is massively different.
Yeah. So obviously it's been a bit of a sort of whirlwind for you, Jay, really, with things. I mean, when we spoke last time you played here, I think that was your first gig, wasn't it?
My first Xentrix gig,
Yeah, your first gig was here in 2017.
Over Sophie,
Yeah. And a nice little baptism of fire. It went all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We got to the end of the set and it was all systems go.
Yeah.
So man.
So how much more comfortable are you feeling with things now and that? Because obviously you've been converted into a singer, haven't you?
Every time we're doing something, there's a different angle to it, which I'm like, I've got to. This is the first for this. Like there was the first was there over the Sophie stage, then there was the first club gig, where it's just like, this is the first one with like Xentrix fans right there.
Yeah.
And then there's the next one's like, this is the first European one. This is the first European festival one. And then it's going like that. I'm not getting a break at the moment. There's always something in my mind. Like this is the first main stage Bloodstock one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fantastic. Because obviously there's a bit of history with that with Bloodstock. Because you two guys actually met on the main stage at Bloodstock working.
Yeah, well, we were trying to remember when it was. We think it's 2015, don't we?
I think so.
And obviously Chris had left the band, so we were like left high and dry. So I was helping out Kill to This, and Jay was helping out. I can't remember what the name of that band is.
Cambium were opening out, and I was there.
So we were both sort of like helping out bands that we knew. I'd seen him when we played, and I just said, we're looking for a guitar player. You don't fancy it, do you? And he was like, yeah, all right, I'll do it. It's like, okay, and so it's got a lot of history, this festival for us, because this was actually the place as well stood out front. We got Shirzy playing bass. We actually said to him, listen, we might have a gig for you.
Yeah.
Because we knew Macca wasn't going to carry on.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's got a lot of like meaning for us, this festival. So to us actually to get here and to play that main stage means a massive amount for this band.
Well, it's got a lot for me as well, because I'm a massive Xentrix fan, and I actually came to Bloodstock in 2013 because you guys were playing. So I've got the massive history for me. So again, me seeing you guys on the Sophie and then on the main stage as well, it's amazing to just see the progress of it.
Yeah, at some point they're gonna have to give us like some credit for it,
Yeah. You need one of those blue plaques on the wall, so literally like, Jay and Stan met here. I reckon it was 2016, not 2015, by the way. But right. I think it was. So obviously you've got the album out now as well, which is absolutely amazing. Bury the Pain, been out since June now as well. So yeah, how's that going? Because obviously the last time I spoke to you guys, it was just out, but now you've had time to gauge the reaction to it and that a little bit more. How's it gone?
The reaction to our album release has been amazing, really. Because we've lived with it for so long, because obviously we recorded it with Chris and then we had to re-record it with Jay, so it doesn't feel that new to us until we actually held it in our hands. It was like, even in the signing tent before, I was like still looking at it going, this looks ace. And then and we haven't seen the backdrop. We've only got our backdrop's brand new.
Yeah.
When that went up, I was stood there watching it going, oh hang on, we're on in a minute, I better sort my shit out. It's like, it's brilliant just to see the stuff that you've worked for actually happen and come together, because you do think this may never happen. You're fighting for all this stuff and trying to get things together, and it's a hard slog.
Yeah.
So when you actually get it and find it, and then people like it, it's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously,
the wind blowing up.
So how hard was that for you, Jay, to come in on that when you've got an album that's completed, you've got the vocals already done?
I'd heard it. A friend of mine had sneaked a copy of it.
Yeah.
And I'd heard it. So I'm a massive Xentrix fan, man, and I'd heard it before, and then I saw Stan. This is when I said to him, I said, "What's happening with this album?" Like I'd heard it a little while back, and he was just like, "Chris isn't doing it." Like, and I was like, "What?" And then later on, he's like, "You up for this?" Like, and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. Well, I heard it as well because a friend of mine sent it to me as well. And you've changed a few bits in it, which has thrown me completely, because obviously I've been listening to it and I'm singing along to the old bit. Oh, okay, that bit's changed now, and that bit's changed. So
I was changing stuff every 5 minutes.
So how hard is that then, to actually come into something and just sort of make it your own, really, and just sort of...
It was fine. Everything that we were like recording and going back, I was like, I've got an idea for this bit. I was thinking this will make it easier for me, or this will make it sound a bit more pushy in this place and what have you. Most of the stuff we tried, sort of, it worked, and Stan's like, yeah.
I mean, he came and put his stamp on it, and I really wanted that to happen, because I was the same as you. It's like when somebody sings something different, it's like your instant reaction is, no, that's wrong, but it might not be wrong, it might be better. So you have to sort of like just suck it in and just wait and get accustomed to it. There was a couple of things that I said, you know what, no. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And the only thing that we were insistent on was we had to put that one track, the track that we didn't record with Chris, the Evil by Design, which you wrote all the words to. And that song, even though we went about it in a completely different way, we went old school and recorded on tape and played together live in the studio and everything, it was nice that we actually had something on the record that wasn't from that time. It was completely in its own. Yeah. So, I mean, it stands out as being completely different, I think, and I'm sure you think so as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it does.
But not in a bad way. You know, it's like, it's different, but in a good way. Will it be what we sound like in the future? Possibly a little bit, but possibly not. Yeah. It's, there'll be elements of both that we'll be moving forward, but it was just important to me that we had something that was inherently ours.
Yeah. It's something to add to it, so that, I mean, Stan had been with this album for fucking 5 years or something, hadn't you, at this point? So
I was sick of it.
He was sick of it, yeah, he was. It's like, have you finished messing around with these lyrics yet? It's like, one more session, I'm done with this. He's like, I'm done with it. So then we put the new song on there, and we went over and recorded it. We went away for the weekend together and had a good weekend away, and did that at the same time. And it was cool, and then it's on there, so that we've got something that we've all done together on there as well. It means it's not just stuff that had been added to or refreshed. Yeah. There's something new that we've all been involved with, and that's good.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
you like see people have got it like then, it's just like, yeah, there is something that also.
And the other thing that I liked as well, I thought in the liner notes, was your acknowledgments to Chris in there as well, and to just say thanks to Chris for...
I snuck that by you.
He sneaked me in it as well, I'm on there as well.
No, it was good, because when we played the Sophie, Chris's cousin was with us, wasn't he, Phil?
Yeah.
And he'd messaged Phil and said, like, wish him good luck and stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, like...
He messaged before.
Did he?
Yeah, to me. Right. So, you know.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, he also said to me that when he messaged me when he said he was leaving, and he said, I really hope that they find someone else and get the album out there, because he's really happy with the album outlook. But he said, he admitted it's just not his thing anymore, lack of commitment on his part, didn't want to do it anymore, but he hoped that it happened. So that's great.
And it has.
It has. Indeed, it has.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you, baby Jesus. Oh, thank you, baby Jesus.
So you've got you're off to Japan as well. I saw as well. That looks amazing.
Yeah. Well,
I've forgotten about that.
Bet your wife hasn't.
No.
Basically, what's happened is our record company, a French record company, Listenable Records, have farmed out the album, and a company called Spiritual Beast are taking it in. It's a great name for an album.
Absolutely.
Spiritual Beast. In Japan, and they've taken it, and they hold a 2-day festival, and the guy just messaged us and said, look, we want you to play. It's like, okay, it's like, let's go all the way for one gig in Japan. So we're flying. It's going to be like a 30-hour round trip.
Oh my God.
The
to play
15 hours each way. That's
I know I always say that I'm going to come to a foreign gig with you.
That one.
That one I might not actually be the first one that I follow you.
Yeah, it is a bit of a. But Japan's one of those places I've always wanted to go to, and it's a bit of a dream come true to actually go and play a gig.
Yeah.
So, because there's so many, like, if you think about it, so many live records from my past that are recorded in Japan.
Yeah.
It's like Unleashed in the East, Made in Japan, MSG One Night in Budokan. There's just a load of records. It's just got that vibe about it, and I don't know why. But it was like, I want to go there. I want to see all the technology and everything.
Opportunities there, you've got to go.
Yeah.
Can we look forward to a Stan in Japan EP then later on or something like that maybe?
He's already bought his monkey T-shirt. You know, like the 80s TV series.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Well, Stan in Japan, I might have to do a little vlog for that.
Well, you do your video stuff, don't you? So you never know. Your stag do one is still on YouTube somewhere as well. That's amazing, that one. So.
They took off all the music on it, actually YouTube. It's on Vimeo with the music if you want it.
Well, we'll do one for your 50th in November then. We'll have one of that.
There you go.
I got tickets for the Machine Head gig in London, which is happening that weekend, wasn't it? The Japan weekend. Saturday night, I've got tickets for Machine Head with Maida and Kontos playing. And it's just like, got the message through, we've been offered Japan this date. It's just like, fuck, that's the Machine Head weekend. And it's just like, got to go to Japan. You've got to go to Japan. So it's like, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's doing well over there as well, isn't it? They're big for it over there. Yeah. And I noticed the extra track on there as well, the Under the Blade, the Twisted Sister cover.
We originally recorded that as an extra track, and then we were going to leave it, weren't we? Because it was kind of like, I'm a big Twisted Sister fan, Astley was, so that was why we did it. And then they just said, "Oh, for Japan, you've got to have an extra track."
The first time we did it the first time, like just as we were going through all the tracks that there was recording, and then it was I sounded fucking rubbish on it. It was I can't do that one, and then it's just we needed the extra track, didn't we? And it's just like, right, we're gonna have to reapproach this and go again, and it's just like it sounds okay, like it's like
cool.
It's not amazing, but vocals.
Well, Dee Snider's here this weekend sometime as well, so
we'll play
try and pass it on to him and see what get his seal of approval.
I haven't actually heard the final one yet. I don't think have I.
Yeah, you have.
Have I?
You said you had.
I haven't heard the final version.
I can show you the email where you said nice mix.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. We're just having a bit of a
nice mix. Well, good. So obviously it's been a long time since you guys have made an album. So
yes.
What's the biggest changes that you've found in actually the recording process, the writing and doing all that? Because changing technology, you don't all need to be in the same room together necessarily. How was that many changes in that?
Yes, it's massively, it's totally different. That's why we went back and did that one song the way that we did the first album, to kind of get a flavour of it. Because the way you do things now, it's the same as anything. It's basically digital and computer based. And when you've got friends like Andy Sneed, then it kind of like softens that blow a bit.
Yeah.
And it also allows you to do it at your own pace. So, like when we were recording our album, we went to Andy's for a weekend. We got really drunk.
Yeah.
And then recorded the drums. Came home, I recorded all the guitars at my place, sent him the stuff, and he mixes it. And then we did all the vocals, and that's how we did with Chris. And then obviously we had to redo it with Jay. But that would never happen. The old sort of days of sitting in the studio, in a big expensive studio, and having that time pressure. It's kind of gone for bands our size.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can. But it's expensive and pressured. So if you're after that pressure thing, which is why we went and did the one song, because I wanted Shires to feel that pressure.
Yeah.
I wanted him to feel it. So that's why we did it. I wanted a mixture of the two, but you don't have to. It's totally different. The internet and technology has changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed Andy Sneap and Russ Russell involved in it as well. So
yes, well,
that's two big names to have in that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to be able to sort of call on these people when you need them. And Russ, I'd done. I did a guest solo on the Shrapnel album. So I met Russ when I did that. So I went to his studio.
Yeah.
And he's such a nice guy. He's a great
lovely
guy. And so when Andy was obviously being heavy metal royalty doing Judas Priest, he'd mixed the thing for Jay, and he said, I'm gone now, I'm in America, or Japan, might be in Japan.
Yeah.
He said, that's it, I've gone. And I just said, right. He said, why don't you try Russ? Russ will master it. So I emailed Russ and he went, yeah, I'll do it. Well, he actually said, I'm too busy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then he heard it and he went, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah, that's the way you want it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, cool. Well, cheers for chatting to us, guys. Great to have a good catch up with you as always.
Yep.
And yeah, absolutely still buzzing from that myself. I watched the first bit of it from in the crowd. Second bit.
Yeah,
from
we
side.
saw you.
I had to mix around. Well, my mate Martin, who's like, we've been lifelong Xentrix fans. He just turned up. I didn't know he was coming.
Oh, brilliant.
Literally just walking around the front, and he's just there in the crowd. I'm like, oh my god. So literally, from going and seeing you when we were like 17, 18 in Manchester, to seeing you guys here on the main stage of Bloodstock was absolutely amazing. So
Brilliant. Cheers. I saw you in the crowd, even with my eyesight.
I was going to say, I must admit, I was trying to catch Jay's eye in Shazzy's, but I know you can't see a damn thing. I was just like, he's not going to see me, no chance. So, cool. Well, cheers, guys. I'm glad it went well for you.
Thanks very much.
And yeah, we'll see you again soon.
Cheers.
Cool. That's Xentrix on Bloodstock TV.